Look at you, looking like a brand new crispy $100 bill.
I need my horse.
How you doing, man?
Hey man, I was ripping and running and gunning this, and I was across town. I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! I got to get back for an interview with Zach."
Got to beam in.
Yeah, so I'm here. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. Can you turn your volume up a little bit for me?
Turn it up. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, just a little bit, not a lot. Just a little pinch there.
Okay, how's that?
That's perfect, bro. Now check this out. I'm already like looking in the background. What bass is that?
Oh, that's my Pearl. That's Pearl. Where's she at? Where's she at? Oh,
Yeah, introduce Pearl. I want to see Pearl. Oh God, yes. Hold it up, man. We need to see that.
This is Pearl. My number one bass. You know, of course, I got you see the Bootsy Collins signed it.
Oh man, Bootsy.
Yeah.
Yo, dog.
He says keep finger funkin', Rob.
Yo, dog. Let me tell you something. You know, that's amazing, man. Your bass just jumped off the page at me and said, "Listen, I gotta go first."
Hey, and let me tell you a true story.
Yes, sir.
My bass got me my first major interview with Bass Musician Magazine.
Wow.
They interviewed my bass before they even knew me.
Yo, I'm telling you, the bass spoke to me just now and said, "Listen, he just holds me up. I'm the real star."
my bass was at a trade show, and I wasn't there. You know, I was walking around and stuff, and I get home and I'm looking, and I'm the bass musician. You know, they got something on YouTube, and I go, "Wait a minute, that's my bass."
Yeah.
I said they need to talk to me. So I contacted the guy. We good friends now, Raw, or how you say his last name? Amador.
Okay.
He's the editor behind Bass Musician Magazine. You might want to talk to him too. He's a cool cat.
Yeah, man, for sure.
We've been partners ever since, man. But it was my bass that got me through that door.
Let me tell you something, man. That's special right there. And just because I know you and you're my brother and everything, man, I am always happy to see people happy with the instruments they have because they bring you joy. That's dope, man. So check this out. Where you from originally?
California, Carson, California.
West Coast, Cali. How long you been on the East?
I've been on the East 2016. What's that? 6 years?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as a New Yorker by way of North Carolina, welcome to the East Coast. We call it the Beast Coast, as you know.
Yeah.
Because we be beasting over here, it was fun to play with you at the ball, man. But we'll get into that. But
we got some more coming, man. I'm looking forward to we got a gig October 15th, right?
Next weekend. I'll be up there. Yeah, man. We're gonna bring the heat, bring the funk,
pole
power.
Yeah. I'm gonna be up there with y'all singing.
That's what's up. Yo, so you moved to the East Coast, you hanging out, whatever, right? How did you actually run into some of the musicians that you're dealing with now, like Shirley Clinton, Tony, and everybody? Because I know, we're all friends on Facebook anyway. Right. You and I have been friends like forever on Facebook. Curtis said, "Hey, you better get this guy on soon." And Curtis is my booking agent, just so you know. Okay. He makes sure he'll tell me, "Listen," in that Curtis voice, "Yo, you got to get this guy on. You got to get him on the show." Love you, Curtis. That's my tribute to you, bro. I love you.
Well, let me go back a little bit.
Go ahead, man.
I first, Facebook was the whole thing that got me communicating with everybody, really. But it started off with Gary Granger's from the group Pockets. Remember them?
Yes.
Yeah, I contacted him from California and was asking, what's going on out here because my wife is from out here.
Okay.
So that's not from a music standpoint, she's from Howard University, she's in business and stuff. But I want to talk to some musicians and find out what's going on out here.
Yeah.
My idea wasn't to relocate out here. I actually came to see some doctors.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I got out here, I fell in love with the tranquility, all the trees and the deers running around and animals. See, in California, if you want to go see that stuff, you got to jump on you got to take a road trip. And so it was just so nice to really like to have that stuff right in my community. And it brought me, like I said, some peace and tranquility I haven't felt in decades, man.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he told me it was pretty cool. And then everybody has had open arms. Who I met next? You know Kevin Walker?
Yeah.
Bass player who's plays with 76 Degrees West, and he used to be with Justin Timberlake, and he plays with everybody out here, you know. Those two guys really are the top dogs that's covering most of the whatever comes in here, the gigs, they come through them two first. And then we'll get the crumbs.
Yeah. You know, when I didn't mean to cut you off, but you just mentioned that group Pockets. I remember Earth, Wind, and Fire produced that first song or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember them because I seen them at Nassau Coliseum. I just wanted to put that out there. I go back with Pockets.
And his brother plays the drums. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guys are really what surprised me out here was how they welcome the outsider in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was kind of fearful with that at first because I was thinking, oh boy, they're gonna think this Hollywood guy is out here and he's trying to smash, and you know what I mean? And it wasn't like that, man. So
see, and that's a beautiful thing because where I'm at here, they didn't really welcome me in. I had to find people. Nobody welcomed me in. They did it backhandedly, you know, and was like not really with my best interest at heart, but smiling in my face. But I overcame that because now I found my tribe. I got about 12 or 13 really solid family Funketeers out here, and I just stick with them. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going through some of that partially still too. Not everybody, but just the majors cats. There was enough to when I can pick up the phone and ask a few questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They was able to direct me and point me in a nice direction. Yeah. And then I got my horn player who's been with me since day one out here, Eugene Chapman. Who's played anybody from Keith Washington to just everybody, you know. And he's a real down to earth brother. He's been over the pad a couple times, and he's matter of fact he's on my first two videos. We just did a couple of gigs together. The same day we did the Funketeers Ball, he played with me during the day, and he's just a hard guy. You know, like I said, I got a pocket of about 15,
and that's good, man. That's all you need, bro. And you got us, you got me,
right?
You got the Funk All Stars, you got Nappy Head. So you in this now. You know what I'm saying? We got you from here. We got your six covered.
That's right.
Guaranteed, we got you. I wanted to ask you, go back a little bit further. What was your like when you started playing instruments and you was choosing? What drew you to the bottom?
I just wanted a guitar. I didn't know the difference between an electric or a bass.
Right.
And when my grandmother, God bless her, she rest in peace. When she took me to the music store to look at some guitars, I didn't know the difference. The guy handed me looks like a Tito Jackson guitar. You know, the kind BB King plays.
Yeah, Gibson, Les Paul.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I put that on and I strummed that, and then he came with another thing, and he said, "This is a bass guitar," and that's the first time I ever heard that. I was about, I think, 12 years old, and my mind at that time was 4 strings look easier to learn than 6. Bright little kid, huh?
Yo, that's right.
So that's why I went for the bass. I didn't know the difference at that time until I got older, just a couple of years, and I started hearing more bass because now I have a bass at home. I got my little shoebox amplifier made from Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah.
It had a little 8-inch speaker in it, but maybe 20 watts.
With the earplug cord that was like for a hearing aid.
Yeah,
I remember.
All I had was tone and volume. I blew that out playing Skin Tight.
Wait. Go back. All it had was what? Tone and what?
2 knobs, tone and volume, and a little fake red light.
I love it. That's a great story, bro. Classic. That's going on my YouTube channel specials.
These young kids don't know about that old school stuff. You know what I mean? You break down, you go to Radio Shack, get you another speaker.
Yeah.
and you screw off the little plywood on the back and put you another speaker in there yourself. It wasn't all these high-tech speakers they got now, you know.
Yep.
And I rocked that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I rocked that baby, man. My first song I ever learned on the bass was Skin Tight. And when I played that song for 2 hours until I fried that amp. That same day I learned the song. True story.
Fried it, boom.
I fried it. I put that little amp in my window, and I was trying to show off in front of my friends on the street, you know. And all I knew was doom 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 doom. I didn't go to the bridge.
Right.
I stayed right there on that groove for 2 hours, and my amp couldn't take it no more.
Yo, that is such a great story because we all did that. You know, I remember the old-fashioned recorders that you had to press down and had that little mic that, like, we used to use them to sing with. You know what I'm saying? I get it, man. I get it. Homemade PAs, taking speakers out of old cars and building cabinets with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Good old days.
Remember those long wooden stereos our parents had?
Yep.
Those long you played the LPs and you had the slide top on the top.
Yep.
My parents had one and they seen that I was into music and around 14 they gave it to me and let me put it in my room. I thought I was balling then. I said,
You was king.
They gave me the home stereo. You know that big long one about long as a coffin.
Like a piece of furniture.
Yeah, it's about 9 feet long.
Yep.
I slid that bad boy in my bedroom. And I've been putting on records ever since. Yo,
let me ask you, who was some of the cats or musicians or artists that influenced you?
Well, you know, early on, my bass players were like Jermaine Jackson.
Very underrated.
Yes. But I'll go way back, you know. And of course, Larry Graham. But Louis Johnson was from Los Angeles, so something about that kind of connected with me even more so when I was out there, you know. And I was with Louis Johnson, Larry Graham, and Bootsy Collins, and then Cordell Mawson. Remember him, the late great Cordell Mawson?
Of course, I got him right there, Boogie.
Yeah, very underrated. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yes.
But you know, listening to that Parliament Live album and hearing him on there, I was just, that gave me my timing, man. I didn't have to use a metronome. That was my metronome. Hearing that bass drum on the Parliament Live record album, boom, 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 boom. I listened to that record so much.
Same.
I have an automatic metronome inside of me now.
Same.
Which is great for a bass player, you know.
Mm-hmm. The good thing about all that stuff that you just mentioned is that it was in real time. We were learning that. That's why we so funky excuse my French audience, that's why we funky as hell now. Because we was learning that shit in real time. Unlike the people of today trying to catch up and learn it on YouTube or watching somebody else do it. We actually saw the people do it. Right. And that's the difference I try to impart into young people, the wisdom. Like, yo, you better pick up on my wisdom because, you know, I'm not playing this from some guy that showed me. I'm playing this from the guy that did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. That's what makes you a funky cat, man. Boogie. And of course, I'm down with Donna Sneed, and you know I got Boogie's hats everywhere around me and everything and shirts. But
and that's why, just to stay on that topic for a minute.
Yeah.
When I played, did you notice when I played Mothership Connection at the festival?
Yes.
Michael Hampton was telling me how he, you know how many bass players he's heard play that song, and he was telling me how authentic I was playing it.
Yeah,
and that's because I was doing just like you said. I was taking every little nuances from the real bass, the original recording. You get me? I worked on that song. Most people learn that song in a week or two, and they jump on stage and play it. I've been playing that song for about 4 months before I played it live.
Praise God.
And what happened was when you learn songs, when you learn material earlier. Now this is a little something for some people just coming up might want to catch on this, and some professionals too. I always jump the gun and learn material earlier. You know why? Especially new material. It's because of course you can learn it in a day or two, right? But if you learn it earlier and then you're still practicing it every week until you do your gig, you start hearing little nuances that you missed the first time around.
The
And you
notes
go,
in between the notes.
wait a minute, what is that? And you start getting what they call a better touch. And that's what happened when I did a Mothership Connection. I have a better touch than most bass players because they don't spend the time on that song like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just learn the meat and potatoes and they run gun with it, you know?
Yeah. P-Funk was all about the nuances, man.
Yeah.
And those little nuances and things, like you said, you know, with Boogie and Jerome, which I was going to met. Shout out to Dennis because I hung out with him in, you know, DC. But like,
yeah,
you know, that, like you said, that album was one of the soundtracks of my life because not only did I learn everything on it, I also learned what everybody else was playing on it. Even though I couldn't play guitar and keyboards, I knew exactly what those parts were. So when I went and put bands together and it was a funk thing, everybody always kind of like, and thank you guys for that, I always say, yo, bro, you really listen to this shit. I said, yo, this is what I am. I said, just play this. And then they would play to be like, oh, that's how it fits. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody who ever told me that. That's one of the nicest things somebody ever said. And I'm telling you, I was singing behind what you was playing. And bro, you was playing that shit. Tears was coming out of my eyes.
Thank you.
Because kudos to you.
Michael Hampton turned around. I can't wait till that guy puts the video footage up. The guy that, I don't know what's taking so long, but he hasn't put it up yet. You know, the guy that's walking around with the video camera.
Yeah, there's bits and pieces, but you know, it's out there. You'll get it.
But no, he has some better
James Bruckenstein, your fans are tuning in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Tony told me he just hasn't put it out yet. Some kind
of it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, but he still got some. You seen the guy that was walking around with the main camera?
Yeah.
He put some little stuff up there, but he didn't really put the meat and potatoes up yet. I think he's still negotiating or something with George Darton or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's coming, y'all. It's coming.
That's right. It's gonna work out. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, we should be there in the next 2 to 4 weeks. We ought to be seeing stuff on YouTube. And once I see it on YouTube, you know I'm snatching it and putting it on my YouTube.
We all gonna do that, bro. The Funk Alliance is what we do.
That's right.
I'm gonna put your shit on. I'm gonna put Tony's. I'm gonna put everybody's shit on. You know, playing with you and playing with Mike Hampton, and of course, you know, Kendra and Shirley and Tony and Jackie and Penda. You know, and you know, all those people, man. When you were up there, and we're gonna get into this. We keep a track of the time. We're hanging out today with the amazing Robert Harper, organically kicking it. We appreciate everybody on the chat line. We love you guys. Stay active. We love you. We're trying to keep funk alive. You guys are a big part of that. Mark Lee, love you back here, bro.
Say that again. We're keeping it alive.
Keeping it alive. Got to. You and I talked about this on the phone when we was prepping the show this week. And on the other side of the half hour, we're going to come to this subject about how we keeping it alive and how they're trying to kill it off. So getting back to one little thing, then we're going to jump back into it. Being up there with you guys, you know, was a manifestation that I had always knew was going to happen. Mm-hmm. When you learned all that early material, you know, did you always see yourself like, I'm going to be on the huge stage, big stage, just jamming it? Because you're a leader. Leaders always stand out.
Right.
You know, in your neighborhood, did everybody say, oh, no, that's the guy?
Back when I started young, everybody, my neighbors said that they saw something in me, you know?
Yes.
And I was 14, 15, 16, 17, and I was I put together my own bands at that time. You know, there was a lot of musicians around there. Matter of fact, a couple of my best friends, I just turned them into musicians.
Right.
I had one guy tell his mother that for Christmas to get his mother. I said, tell your mother to get you a guitar, man. And then my neighbor next door, I told him to tell your father to buy you some drums.
Yeah.
And I put together my first band like that.
I love it. You made them into stuff.
And that's how I learned how to play different instruments, because we would leave all the stuff in my house, right?
Yeah.
And then I was so into, a lot of people don't know, not only Prince played all his music instruments, but Ray Parker Jr. did the same thing too.
Yes, he did.
And I used to follow him a lot too. But behind him and Prince doing that, I was influenced, and I would pick up the guitar my friend left at my house and strum a few chords, you know, and a few bar chords, and then I'd get on my friend's drums and play a couple of beats, and dabble on the keyboards, and next thing you know, I wasn't no expert, but I knew the fundamentals. You know what I mean? Yeah, the good
when
old
you
days,
when you
man.
when you when you were growing up in that hood, right? And you're
Uh-huh.
listening to all this great music. And again, we're hanging out with the amazing Robert Harper, man. You're so dope, and I appreciate you, man. I'm humbled and honored. We are
Thank
Mark
you.
and I to have you
Likewise.
on the show. But yo, you're thinking in advance. You're thinking ahead, right?
Right.
There's a moment when the P hits you.
Hmm.
Tell me that moment when you said, "Oh, now I'm in it," because the P done hit me.
Well, mine came from Bootsy Collins' "Stretching Out" album. I had a friend that introduced me to him. You know what I mean? He said, "Rob, he's one of my best friends too."
Yeah, yeah.
But he heard about all that in George Clinton before I did. He said, "You got to check this dude out, Bootsy, Rob." And I came over his house and he had the album, and I was just stuck on this dude on this motorcycle with his perm, you know
Right.
what I mean? And his star-shaped bass, and I was like, "What the hell? I got to go get this." So I borrowed his album for a while, and I played that, and it just put me in I call a funkcosis. I just would play it, and it was like I was there in the album. I was there with them. He made a lot of us at that time feel like a part of. You get me? It was real. Black Pride was jumping off back
It
then. You
was
get me?
special.
Yeah, and he really influenced a lot of not just African Americans, but a lot of African Americans.
Everybody, man.
Everybody, yeah.
Bootsy, and thank you for sharing that. Bootsy changed the whole game.
You know why I
Because,
liked it? You know what was different about him? He talked to us.
yes, he did.
He didn't just entertain us.
Yep.
He talked
Yep.
to us.
Told us stories.
Yeah, that's what made it personal. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That song, and man, you're right, because that's one of the ones that like patched into my DNA for sure.
Yeah.
When I heard that, and see,
he was really like a narrator.
yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he was. And Bootsy last year on one of the things, we was at his birthday party, and he told a story, and he said, "Stretching Out" wasn't the first song.
Oh no.
He said that was the last minute thing. And I was playing it, and my father heard "Hallelujah," and he was a minister. He came in the room and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "Yo," I said, "This dude is the dude that used to play with James Brown. Nah, he done took off, you know."
Wow.
And my father said, "Really?" Because my father always let me listen to what I want. So when he heard that, "Hallelujah," and then I knew then, I was like, okay, my dad is down with this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Bootsy.
Yeah, he's the one that tied the knot with the funk with me, because before him I was listening to funk, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I go back to elementary school. Remember Joe Tex?
Oh yeah,
a lot of his stuff was funk. You know what I mean?
And the Sex Selects. I remember
Yeah. Mr. Big Stuff.
Oh God.
Who do you think you are? Who sung that? Some girls.
Yep, the three. Yeah, I forgot. But you know what's funny? That gospel group, the girls came back and sampled that, and nobody knew that they had took that Mr. Big Stuff hook.
Yeah, you remember that bass? Doom, doom.
Yep, Mary took it. Yep. Oh yeah.
That's funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's a worm in the ground. Yes, it is.
Ohio plays
6 feet down. I didn't know about no funk back then when I was listening to that, but that stuff used to move me. You know what I mean? And we would have little dances in school and stuff. And when they put on certain songs like that, I knew I grew to the bass heavy grooves more than I did the other ones. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's so great. We're hanging out with Rob Harper, amazing. You know, my producer, Mr. Markley, back there doing a great job. And all you guys out there tuning in, watching this, man, we appreciate you. We love you. Stay hooked in, stay locked in, man, because we're going to show some of his new stuff and listen to some of his music on the other side. But when you mentioned all of that stuff growing up, they were soundtracks, because one thing you said about 5 minutes ago, Black pride and the movement and the power of the people, of all people, Black, gay, you know, that was all coming out. And, you know, young hippies coming back from the war was all coming out, and everybody band together post Woodstock. Let's do that. You know, we grew up in all of that. And the music was reflection of that. So for every artist that's up in heaven now, I just want to take a second to say thank you. Because we standing on their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people that all the time. Whether for the Bootsy Collins and James Browns and, Patti LaBelle's and all those girls back there of the world, the Motown thing, where would we be?
That music helped us get through a struggle.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
See, back in them days, you didn't have to have no psychiatrist. You go to your room, man, and boo-hoo a couple of tears and put on some records. And after a couple of hours, you all right.
You're so right. Because this morning I was just doing that. I said, let me go to some old school. And I put on, oh, I seen her face everywhere I go. Oh, man. Have you seen her? You know what I'm saying?
Reunited.
Yes.
Yeah, I went through that with a little breakup. You know what I mean?
Oh, the 3 Degrees. That's who made that song. They said, Mr. Big Stuff. The 3 Degrees. Thank you. Oh, G Knight. G Knight sang Mr. Big Stuff. All right, thank you. Dr. B is on, and thank you, Dr. Brookenstein. But yeah, man.
Always love my mama.
Oh, God,
She's my favorite girl.
That was deep for me. Yeah, that one right there.
Really positive, influencing, comforting music,
Yeah, that's right. And you know something? And we get ready to hear Keith Jackson's voice in a second. So, Mark, get that ready. And Chrissy Key, please. But you know something? If people remember, early Earth, Wind, and Fire with Verdine was bass heavy and funky as whatever. When they got to that middle stage, they switched it up. And then he would only really come out live with the heavy stuff on the bass. But, he was playing more of the classical, stuff. But early on, if you listen to Power, you listen to that album.
More African based. You know what I mean?
That's right. He was heavy on that. Fender was kicking it.
Yeah, they took a lot of that they took a lot of those beats from Africa,
Yes, they did. And people forget that, like don't sleep on Maurice because he was doing some serious shit back there, But anyway, man, we're hanging out with Robert Harper, Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV. We're getting ready to hear my favorite person's voice with the Keith Jackson. Shout out to him and in honor of the Honeybee. We're gonna keep it moving. We got you, B. Love you. R.I.P. And also Chrissy Key Rollins. So, Mark, when you're ready, and we're going to come back on the other side with some of Rob's music. Great show today. We love you guys. Stay active. We'll see you in a second.
All right.
Yes, sir.